Vic, who's this?
Oh, this is page 13, Fuentes.
Okay. Luis Fuentes.
Sir.
Mr. Fuentes, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Judge, I'm sorry, there's a co-defendant that's here also.
Oh, wonderful.
Page 39, Salazar, come on up. There's a third co-defendant also.
Really?
So Salazar's on 39.
Okay.
And page 48, Barilla,
Wait, what's the last name?
B like Victoria. Queen Victoria.
You are Julio Salazar,
Right.
and you are Joe Alexis Varela. All of you guys are charged with racing on the highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, gentlemen. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you guys. Okay.
On July 2nd, 2024, at approximately 11:50 in the evening, officers observed a black Camaro line up with a blue Mazda and a silver Acura. All three of these vehicles were observed conducting a roll race in which the three vehicles slowed down to match speeds, lined up in lanes 2, 3, and 4 before accelerating at a high rate of speed in an effort to outpace each other in a competitive manner. Officers in unmarked cars were able to maintain visual on the vehicles until marked units could move in to conduct the traffic stops. Defendant Fuentes was the driver and sole occupant of the silver Acura. Defendant Salazar was the driver and sole occupant of the black Camaro. And Roma was the driver and sole occupant of the blue Mazda.
Do we know what kind of speeds they went at?
It doesn't say they were on Manassas Street.
That was recorded, Judge, but they weren't clocked.
Say that again?
They recorded out, officers recorded on their cell phone, but they weren't clocked because they didn't have a set detector.
So we have three basically become stationary and then boom, go.
They lined up with each other at the same rolling speed, and then
Okay, and then take off?
Distance each other.
Got it. Okay, Mr. Fuentes, Mr. Salazar, and Mr. Varela, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on all of your cases. Do you have a Texas driver license, Mr. Salazar? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fuentes, do you have a Texas driver license? Mr. Salazar, do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have a Texas driver license? Okay, I'm going to tell you now that the Texas legislature, as of last year, made it extremely easy for those who get busted with racing to take your cars away from you, seize it permanently, and take it as fruit of a crime, and you there forfeit that vehicle forever. So you are now on notice. If it continues to happen, at some point, you're going to get an officer that's really going to be gung-ho, and they will take and seize your car from you permanently. Mr. Fuentes, I'm now making it a condition of your bond for you not to participate in any racing, street takeovers, donuts, or any boneheadedness out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I find that you do this, I will take your privilege to drive away from you permanently, and you will be barred from driving. Same thing goes for you, Mr. Salazar. You are not to participate in any racing, street takeover, donuts, anything of this nature. Reckless driving you do, I will take your privilege to drive away from you permanently. Mr. Varela, this is your second case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive away from you. You will now sign with me today an affidavit promising me that you're not going to drive. I don't care where you're going. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what baby has to go to the hospital. You drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get in a car and drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
My only concern is public safety and every single person in Harris County. And when you do something like this, you put many, many lives in danger. You violate this, I'm gonna violate you. Do you understand? For now, we are going to reset your cases to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm gonna have you go to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We will have you sign it and then you will be on your way. You are going to come up here and swear to me that you're not gonna drive. Mr. Varela, take note. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care what excuse you have. You cannot justify driving for any reason. And like I said, you do. You will be facing a stiff 6 months in jail. Every time you get into a car, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable. And I'm well within my right to stack it if you do. If you drove here, you may not drive home. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, come up here, swear to this. Gentlemen, if you'd like to go to Victoria, we'll have you sign a reset and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. So the first one is,
First one is Kevin Garza. This is Rafael Vital. This is Mr. Garza.
There's also a third co-defendant.
so Garza, you said Vital or?
That's Kevin, Judge. I'm sorry, Your Honor?
No. The other two are Locklear and Vital, right?
Yes, this is Vital.
Vital.
I'm here on Locklear, Your Honor.
You want to bring them up? Okay. You mind bringing them up?
Sure.
So Victoria, this is the
Yes.
tri co-defendant.
We have Garza, Vital, and Locklear, all three.
Come on up, guys. All right, so you're Kevin Garza, Mr. Garza, and Mr. Vital, and Mr. Locklear. All of you guys are charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
Garza and Locklear were stopped by the same officer, so I'm gonna do them first and then move to.
Sure,
Vital.
okay.
On July 14th, 2024, undercover officers observed a white Audi and a white Chevrolet Camaro engage in a rolling dragging race by slowing down at approximately 8750 West Park Tollway in Harris County to 30 miles per hour in a 65 zone and accelerate to approximately 140 miles per hour in a.
140. Which one did 140?
This one was Locklear and Garza in the rolling drag race. A marked patrol vehicle conducted a traffic stop on the vehicles, and defendant Carson Locklear was the driver of the Chevy Camaro, and defendant Kevin Garza was the driver of the car. Both defendants stated they knew when they got pulled over and admitted to racing each other on West Park Tollway. And then moving to Vital. On July 14th, deputies conducted a traffic stop on a red 2011 BMW M3 for racing on the highway. Prior to the traffic stop, undercover deputies observed three suspect vehicles, the red 2011 BMW M3 and the white Chevy Camaro SS and the Audi RS5 traveling side by side eastbound on West Park Tollway, maintaining a speed of 60 miles per hour while side by side, and then kept their vehicles aligned to begin the drag race. All three vehicles then simultaneously accelerated to speeds well over 120 miles per hour in the drag race competition to outdistance and outgain each other. The posted speed limit was 65, and deputies conducted a traffic stop on the red BMW M3, and the driver was Rafael Vital, the defendant.
One 140 miles an hour. I am done with all of you. And I'm now taking away each of your privileges to drive. And if I find that you drive I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every single time that you drive. Do you understand? I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care where you're going. I don't care if you're hauling baby cats to a damn funeral. What your excuse is. If I find that you drive for any reason, each of you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. Each time you drive, it's an offense in and of itself, punishable by 6 months in jail, and I can stack it. Do you understand? Mr. Vital, this is your second racing case. I swear to you on everything that's holy, if you get in a car behind the wheel for any reason, there will be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to smoke weed, consume alcohol, and I'm sending you now for a drug test. Do you understand? Tracy, he goes down now. Both of you now, you other two, if I find that you drive for any reason, I will lose my shice. And I'm telling you now, our jails are crowded, but they're not so crowded to have you. And I'm going to tell you another thing. The legislature's made it very easy for district attorneys across the state of Texas to seize, take cars from individuals who continue to do this. I'm surprised, Pavel, did they seize your car, Mr. Vital? I'm very surprised that they haven't done that. And I will be equally surprised if they don't. But get ready. Each of you will come up here, sign this promise to me that you're not going to drive. Heed my warning. You will not get another one. Do you understand? We're going to reset your cases to give you time to work these cases out with your lawyer. Martin, I saw that you were working over there, but at that speed, I don't care where they're going. I don't care what they need to do in life. My only concern is the protection of the highways in Houston. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person. If you want to race, there are places designated in Houston for you to do it. On the Sam Houston Tollway, on 610, on 59. That's not the proper place. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right, come on. Gentlemen, I'm bringing all of you here now because I don't want to repeat myself 15 times. All of you stand charged with driving while intoxicated. All of you are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause on each of your cases. Each of you have the right to remain silent, the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Let's start with Mr. Acosta.
The officer initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant drive without headlights at 8 p.m. Upon contact, the officer observed red glassy eyes and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer called the Spanish speaker to assist, and in plain view on the passenger front seat, the officer observed an open and an empty bottle of alcohol. The defendant
Drinking while driving, is that what you're saying?
There was an open container, Your Honor. And the officer conducted standard field sobriety test. The HGN was unable to be completed due to the defendant's failure to follow instructions. The officer then transported the defendant to JPC, where DICs were read. The defendant consented to breath, with the results being 0.132 and 0.140
What did you say the stop was for?
for driving without headlights at night.
Mr. Acosta, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. All right, let's go with Mr. Mason.
Yes, Your Honor. On November 29, 2024, the officer was flagged down by a witness at Tomball Parkway. The officer observed the defendant's parked vehicle on the #1 lane northbound feeder road with hazard lights on. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed the defendant to have red glassy eyes and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to drinking prior to driving. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 1 out of 8, and one leg stand 0 out of 4. The DIC was read and defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.093 and 0.089.
So he was by himself?
He was by himself, Your Honor. He was just stuck on, his vehicle was parked in northbound Feeder Road with hazard lights on.
Got it. Okay, I see it. All right, Mr. Mays, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case as well. Lastly, Mr. Ulloa.
Yes, Judge. On December 1st, 2024, officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle after observing it run a red light at an intersection. And upon contact, the defendant was observed to have a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, red glassy eyes, slurred speech, and was stumbling. The defendant stated he was coming from a bar and admitted to drinking prior to driving. Center field sobriety tests were conducted, a GN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused, and a search warrant was signed and executed.
Have you checked on all three to see whether they have other DWIs? Prior DWIs?
Acosta has no priors, Mesa has no priors, and Ulloa also no prior DWIs.
Gentlemen, I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you are not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until these cases are over with. And then you will be shipped off to immigration, or you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not have a Texas driver license, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Are you this United States citizen? Are you in this country with or without permission, sir?
Sin permiso.
What happens if you go to jail? What did I just tell you? Did you hear anything that I just said?
Vuelvo a mi país. Regreso a mi país.
With me, send back to
And how long will you sit in custody for that to happen?
9 meses, 6
9
meses.
months. Así es.
Likewise,
De igual manera,
are you in this country with or without permission, sir?
without permission.
Do you understand everything that we said? You as well. Are you here? Are you a United States citizen?
With permission.
What type of permission do you have?
I work.
I don't know whether you're lying to me or not. And Mr. Ulloa, it really doesn't matter. But I'm trying to warn you of the consequences of what happens if you go to jail. It really makes no difference to me whether you're this, whether that, I don't care. All I know, gentlemen, I want my streets safe. And if you don't have a Texas driver license, you're not allowed to drive. Each of you will be signing a promise with me that you're not going to drive. And I don't care what your reason is. If I find that you drive, and I don't care, if Jesus comes from heaven and needs to ride to church, you get into a car and drive, we will have issues. Do you understand?
Yes,
Do you understand?
yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Likewise, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you have a Texas driver license?
No, I haven't gotten it.
What's funny?
Qué gracioso.
No, que siento culpa porque pude haber evitado muchas cosas.
No, I just feel guilty. I could have avoided many
Stop.
things.
I don't want you to say anything. You're in enough trouble as it is right now. Don't make things worse for you. The only 3 things I'm asking for you: don't drink, don't use illegal drugs, don't drive, and stay out of trouble. As long as you can do that, gentlemen, you and I will be fine. If I find that you're a danger to my public, I will put you over my knee, treat you like a child, and spank you like a child, but I will do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
All right, we're going to reset each of your cases to give you time to hire a lawyer. So what's going to happen now, gentlemen? I will have you come up here. Each of you will sign a document promising me that you're not going to drive. After that, I will get you to Ramona, where each of you will sign a reset. You're going to get you out of here for you guys to go hire a lawyer. After that, you will each get with Felicia for your bond conditions, so you sign and so you know exactly what you can and cannot do. After that, you will be free to go. Gentlemen, you were lucky that you're not in custody now. Make the most of it, because the next time you go to jail, you may not get as lucky. And I'm telling you, on any given day, I have about 10 people that are sitting in there with immigration detainers. Don't push your luck. All right.
Thank you, sir.
So you are Mr. Kassem?
My attorney, yes, Your Honor. My attorney will be running a little late.
Who is your lawyer?
It's the Sadie law firm. You should be coming. Let me see if I see any admins.
It's Yasha. All right, well, I called him, he didn't answer. So you all are here, we're going to do probable cause. Each of you are charged with racing on a highway. Who's Carlos Gomez? You're Carlos Gomez. Mr. Gomez, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Mr. Kasim, you are charged with racing on a highway, and you are charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the weapon case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On the racing, up to 6 months. As you, Mr. Rios, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on the racing case. Gentlemen, we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay?
On February 1st, 2025, an officer who was part of a plainclothes traffic crimes task force was near Cross Timbers and East Texas Freeway in Harris County, Texas, where there was known to be a large street takeover group meeting. Officers in plain clothes were conducting a surveillance of the group of cars known to conduct the takeovers. The officer followed members of this group, specifically a gray Camaro, a white Camaro, and another Camaro. Officers witnessed the three vehicles slow down to 50 miles per hour and accelerate simultaneously up to speeds well over 125 miles per hour in order to outpace each other. Plainclothes officers were able to keep these vehicles in sight until marked patrol vehicles arrived and conducted traffic stops. Officers pulled over the vehicles and made an arrest.
So each one of them are in cars lined up?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Lane 1, lane 2, and lane 3.
Okay, so tell me about the gun on Mr. Kasim's case. So Kasim is K-A-S-E-M. While you're looking at, gentlemen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm going to tell you now, living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. And I am now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to participate in these types of activities anymore. Racing, street takeovers, donuts, reckless driving. If I find that you do, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing I will do is I will take your ability to drive away from you. Do you understand? Not only that, the Texas legislature has made it extremely easy for DAs across the state of Texas to seize, take cars permanently for people who are continuously participate in these activities. And I'm telling you because I've seen it here where people get their $80,000 to $100,000 car seized and taken, and they don't get it back. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Kasim admitted to having the handgun in his fanny pack to the officer.
So can you file those conditions on all these gentlemen? Or I guess, let's go through each of them. Do they have Texas driver license?
They all have eligible Texas driver's license.
Great. All right. One more thing, gentlemen. You are not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, then you're not allowed to drive. If I find that you drive without car insurance or you violate any of these conditions, I will put you in jail. I will do everything in my power to protect my community. Imagine you hit something at 125 miles an hour. You crush anything. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I will have you each take a seat while we craft your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it. Because you guys have lawyers, I will waive your appearances. So you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel and they will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me they cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging and playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You become a danger to my community, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna have you each go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.
Gomez.
And then if you can file all those and all of them. Thanks, Brent. Texas or liability insurance, no racing, reckless driving, donuts,
Okay.
street takeovers,
Go ahead
and the like.
Judge, they're all state bond conditions?
Yeah.
I'll pass. Judge, are you ready for the next one?
No, I need, it's gonna take her a little bit to get the conditions ready.
It's gonna annoy you. Yeah, I think.
Marino?
William, you wanna help me out? You ready?
Ready.
Come on.
All right, page 4, Dickerson, come on up.
We're doing Dickerson.
Got it.
You, Miss Taylor Dickerson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dickerson, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay?
Your Honor, on February 1st, 2025, the officer was dispatched. He met with an on-scene officer who stated he observed a vehicle traveling 70 to 65, 70 in a 65. He failed to signal a lane change, nearly causing a collision with another vehicle. A traffic stop was initiated. Smell of marijuana emitted from the vehicle, probable cause search conducted, and 3 pill bottles were located with marijuana inside 23.2 grams. Xanax also contained in bottles, which were not the correct prescription on the bottle, 3.7 grams.
Okay. Mr. Dickerson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Does he have a valid Texas driver license? You mind running it? You're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you
Right.
understand? If you have both, then you may continue to drive. If you don't, don't. And that's a condition of your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not putting any other conditions. Just be careful.
Yes, sir.
I believe he does, Judge.
Okay. So you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I'm going to waive your appearance, but just stay in touch with counsel and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. Okay. So we're license good?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So no conditions. We'll just send you on your way. Be careful. Don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Just be good. All right. Okay, guys, please.
Thank you, Sir Gunner.